Hi, my name is Mike. Thanks for joining me today on my channel, Technically Church, where I share over 20 years of experience in audio, video, lighting, and multimedia. You can always find out more on my website at technicallychurch.com. Let's jump in. I'm going to show you a real-world example of how I use the Stream Deck in my church to control all of my production equipment. I have pretty much everything tied into the Stream Deck, so at the push of a button at front of house, I can control ProPresenter, I can control my video switcher, I can control my video hub. Those are both from Blackmagic. I can actually control my lighting console, which is a Grand MA console, and then I also run lighting pixels via Mad Mapper. I can control that directly from the Stream Deck. And I can even control some things on my Behringer Wing soundboard. So I have quite a bit that I do on the Stream Deck at the push of a button every week here at the church. And I just want to show you kind of an example of how I do all that. All right, so here is my front of house. So I've got my Behringer Wing here. I've got a Mac Mini over here. That's what the Stream Decks are plugged into. I run several things over there. I run Ableton for Waves plugins, and I multi-track record in Adobe Audition over there. So I've got a view of my video switcher multi-view here. I've got my ProPresenter station here with a duplicate of my stage monitor. And then on the far end there, I have my Grand MA lighting console. So you can see here at front of house, I have two Stream Decks. I have one here on the soundboard, and I have one here next to the soundboard. So I can control quite a bit there. So I'll show you what I do on the Stream Deck itself. So I'm running BitFocus Companion for the Stream Decks, and you can see here I have quite a few connections. I'm connecting to multiple ProPresenters, my ATEM video switcher, my Blackmagic video hub, my Grand MA lighting console, and I also have some OSC set up for some different commands there. So again, I do have the two Stream Decks set up. They're set up to the same computer, so they have access to the same pages. I can just display different pages on each one at different times. So I have access to twice as many buttons at once. Alright, so on the Stream Deck itself, my first page I just use as a launch pad. All of these buttons are just shortcuts to different pages. So if we go up, this page is my ProPresenter page. So I have all the controls for ProPresenter that I would need here at front of house. Most of these settings are backups or overrides. I don't always run everything myself. But sometimes I have to intervene to fix things, or sometimes I'm queuing a video time-wise, different things like that. And then sometimes I'll show you a page at the end where I do control everything, kind of if it's a one-man show, and I'll show you how I set that up. So with ProPresenter, the top row here are all video cues. I run my announcement loop that cues my announcement slides, my background music. I can cue my countdown video here if I have an extra video in the gathering, and then we always do a bumper video before the sermon. So the bumper video, all these video cues, is actually a double cue. It will start the video in ProPresenter, and it will switch my video switcher to the correct input just with one button press. So then I have a couple clear all commands, clear video, clear slide. And then during announcement time, we put graphics up. So I have just shortcuts to all my graphics that I might need for ProPresenter. All right, the next page I have set up tying into my lighting console. I'm using the Grand MA2 lighting console. So I just have a bunch of preset scenes and shortcuts here for my house lights, preset worship looks, walk-in lights. Again, a lot of these are overrides if I need them. Next two pages are for my video switcher. So I can run my video switcher, which is not physically located at front of house, but I can run it here from front of house, and I do have that backup multi-view that I showed you. So I have access to all my cameras, cam 1, 2, 3. This is a full screen video for when we do countdown videos, bumper videos, we switch to that because we do use iMag video on our projectors. So when we do videos, we switch to a full screen video. I have the 3 roaming cams, and then I have a drum cam, keys cam, and electric cam. So I have access to all those. They are set up with feedback, so I know which one is live. So it shows me that when I press them. So these are all direct cuts. And then I do have lower thirds for lyrics and sermon slides using an alpha key over my video, so I have the ability to turn that on and off as well. So then the next page is a duplicate essentially, but with fades. So I have it set up to where if I press camera 1, it previews it first and then fades to it. If I press camera 2, it previews it first and then fades to it. So that's all built into the one button. Next couple pages are all lighting cues. I have specific lights on all my singers and different things. So again, if I need to override my lighting console, I can do that here. I have a page set up for playback, so I can cue playback if needed. If our worship leader is out or there's an issue, I can do that. I can control our haze machine. That's all done through the lighting console. All right, now let me go up to our VBS page here, so I'll explain. So this was an event that I was running myself. It was fairly simple, but I'm running, sound, ProPresenter, essentially the video switcher, and the lighting console all myself. So I set up these just preset buttons and pages all in the order that I need them. So I click walk in, it cues the walk in lights. I click VBS lights, it lights up the stage. House at 100%. Then the next button cues the countdown video and also changes the video switcher. This puts up a title graphic, also changes the video switcher. Then I have several ProPresenter cues. I'm cueing some music here. I'm cueing a timer here. Cueing a video here. So these are all things that I'm doing from front of house on this Stream Deck, but I'm cueing several machines that are not located physically right by me. So just a quick example of how you might run things, by yourself. So that is the front of house Stream Decks, and then I'll take you into our video room and kind of show you what that Stream Deck looks like as well. All right, so we're here in my video room. I've got our video switcher, video hub, and the rack over here, along with our streaming gear and our comm system. I've got a Mac Mini here, essentially running the Stream Deck, also running a second ProPresenter. And then I've got all my multi-view monitors here for my video switcher. I've got a preview of our stage there, just a wide shot, preview of what's on the projectors, and a duplicate of our stage display there. All right, so how I run the Stream Deck here in my video room is similar, but it's very dedicated to the video switcher. So I have all of my cameras here. The bottom row is hard cuts. So it's camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, drum cam, electric keys, and then the full screen video. So those are all hard cuts if you press them, and there is that feedback that tells you what's live. And then the second row is all previews, so I can preview camera 1 and then I can fade to it. Preview camera 2, fade to it. We've got a couple preset looks that we lock in sometimes here. Access to my multimedia players. The on-air button turns my lyrics on and off with the feedback there. And then I do have access to ProPresenter as well, so that will actually cue my announcement loop that I mentioned earlier as well. So it starts that in ProPresenter, it starts music, so I use that pre and post our services. So that's just controlling directly to my video switcher. And then, I do have on the computer here, I'm running that ATEM software control, so it's essentially just remotely controlling that. Just provides an easy interface for my switcher to use. Thanks for joining me today. Again, my name is Mike. You can always find out more on my website, technicallychurch.com, or on my YouTube channel, Technically Church. Look forward to seeing you soon.